Welcome back to ELH 4x4 doing stuff. We're reassembling the interior. So what I got is the door seals, inner and outer seals that I got to replace. The top of the bed, the side rail covers, and on the tailgate, I got the plastic reveal on that and the actual handle that we got to install. So basically we got to go through all right, here's the seals. We got to get all this plastic trim, door panels, sill plate covers. We got new wiper arms and wiper blades, the rest of the interior plastic stuff that needs to go in. So that's what we're doing today, and then we're wrapping this vehicle up. That's where we're at. That's what we're doing. We can go through, wipe down the door jambs and everything, get, you know, do a little bit of a detail going on too. But we got to pull this back seat out because I got some stuff I got. I'll just show you. Let's do it. So we had to take these back pillar, the trim off so we can get to this inner door seal. But I'm going to go around, because it looks like they tried sealing it. So we'll go through and remove that. Anyway, that's what I'm going to do. All right, so it took me about 30 minutes to scrape off the unnecessary silicone for the seals. My thought behind that was they were trying to fix a leak, but the leak was coming from, what do they call it, the center high mount brake light and dome light, you know, the CH whatever the acronym is for it. That was leaking, which was dripping down, and then the windshield was leaking over on the passenger side. So I think they were trying to fix a leak by putting unnecessary silicone around the door seals. So before you start doing that, take a look at the center mount, the center high mount brake light, third brake light. See if there's a gap in the gasket, or if the gasket's completely gone, whatever. And then maybe look at your windshield, see if that's leaking. Anyway, and it was leaking on the passenger side, so there was no glue or silicone over on the other side because the water wasn't getting in on that side. Anyway, I'm going to put the seal on. I got the new seal laid out to make sure it's the same length. That's the outer seal. And I'm going to get that installed. Correction, that's the inner seal. I got the outer seals laying out, getting rid of any crinkles and stuff like that. So I got them laying out in the sun. Anyway, once I get these seals, at least the inner seal, I can start throwing the trim back. So that's what I'm putting the trim back on. That's what I'm trying to say. So, all right, let's see what we got. All right, so we got a little bit of overlap, which is nice. So now we got to cut the seal. So let's see how we can do that. Let's see if we can cut in between and use a blade. So I'll be right back. All right, let's see what we got here. Nope. All right, be back with some kind of cutters. Right, I use these. This stuff's pretty easy to cut. All right. And see what it almost seems like it's like stacked like staples. I'll show you once I cut the rubber off. Yeah, that's what I kind of thought. Stacked like staples. So if you can get in between, right? So if you get in between the thing, it'll be really easy to cut. Hope that helps. All right, let's show you at combat speed. So you can put this in on wrong, but I mean, it would be kind of hard. Anyway, get the seal laid out and kind of center it up. Where are we looking? So right here, it's a little bit tight, but you can do it. And I'm going to use the razor to get that straight cut on the outer seal. All right. And I kind of work the cutter in between or to find the gap, right? Instead of forcing the cut is what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to find the gap. here it is. That's all it is, really. Let's see how that shuts. Or will it shut with the... Yeah. All right. I don't know what we were looking at. All right, anyway, now that we got the inner seal on, we can start putting the trim back together. All right, so I'm running into an alignment problem with the trim. So basically what it is these clips have to shift over a little bit. And there's not really much you can do about that. So you got to just bend them over. All right, see how you can kind of bend them. So that's what we're going to do, is we're just going to shift them over about a ½ an inch. All right, that's pretty good. We got a good line on the seal. All right, let's see if the door shuts. All right. Okay. What else? All right, door panels. All right, now it comes time to put the door panel on. We got some guiding pins here that we got to make sure is lined up. And then we got 2 screws. One in the cup holder. And one in the grab handle. Now we put our insert in. All right, how does that line up? So that says left, well, LF. That one says LF also. That's all it is. We'll do the other side. All right, we'll move our attention to the tailgate. All right, this side's round. And then this side has a notch out of it. And that's what makes these things so easy to take for all those jerks out there that take tailgates. All right, we're going to put our door handle on and then our upper and lower trims. All right, we can slide our handle. And then line up. Where are we looking? You seeing that? I'll tighten that up. All right, 13 mil. You know, I think I'm going to leave that plastic cover off. right, can you see that? Let me get a pair of needle nose. Okay, that's one. Well, mouth breathing into the camera, my bad. All right. I'm gonna clean up I guess that goes on first, but I'm gonna clean up these areas where the pressure tape is at, because this coating does not like tape doesn't stick good to it, is what I'm trying to say. Be right back. All right, I Scotch Brighted and wiped it down with acetone. Splendid. All right, we'll get the other covers on there and see where we need to scuff it up. All right, so you got to scuff up this edge up here. And then we'll hit it up with some acetone. Be right Apparently, we're taking pictures right now instead of recording. You can kind of see like little raised areas where the tabs go into the holes. All right, we'll move over to the other side. I think this time we'll record. How about that? just trying to get this pressure tape started. There we go. Get this other side just in case. There we go. All right. Okay. There's that. Trying to get you see what I'm seeing. See how it's up high here? Right here. There you go. You heard that snap. That was probably my wrist bone. There's another one right here. Then we kind of lift up on the edge a little bit as we pull the tape. Well, not the tape, but you know, the little plastic. There we go. All right, let's do the tailgate. All right, so same thing. We scuff it up. Wipe it down with some acetone. What are we looking at? I had to pull this out with a screwdriver to get it past the little inserts, quick certs. We don't want to tighten them down just right yet, because we want to kind of get this little cover centered as best as possible. Okay, that looks pretty good. There we go. I had to tighten up the tripod a little bit. Looks sharp. Yeah. The side rails. All right, we got windshield wipers. Stand by. All right, so 10 mil. Nope. 13. All right, let's see what we're working with. Well, that's kind of... What in the world? All right, so we got this little elbow. There we go. And the only difference I see in it is where the washer fluid comes out. So on the driver's side, they got the little nozzle. Where are we looking? Are we seeing that? Am I talking to myself? Right here, this is the driver's side. This is the nozzle. And then on the passenger side, the nozzle's underneath the arm. So I just got to take this elbow off so I could pull the hose out. I'll be right back. All right. There we go. Let me put the wiper arm on first. Wiper blade, not the arm. The wiper blade. AC Delco. GM number 878141153. Oh, and the wiper arms, well, they're Dorman, but a 4258 and a 42535. 42548, 42535. Four two five four eight 42535. Oh, so I didn't know it. So there's a nozzle here and a nozzle here for the driver's side. And this was, you just need to put your purse down when you're putting this thing on. That's all it was. So I'm going to put the hose above the wiper arm. Is it or below? I don't know. Maybe below. It seems more natural that way. Okay. And I bought this wiper arm tool, windshield wiper arm remover. So let's see how that thing works. All right, this one comes up and around. Alrighty. I can't. There we go. So did the tool break it loose? I don't know. Doubt it. Okay, driver's side needs to come down some. All right, let's test them out. All right, I'm going to clean the tires up, kind of hose everything down and maybe clean the windows up a little bit, get some of the overspray off and all that, and then we'll wrap it up with the final shot. All right, let's do a recap. New headliner, new dash, reupholstered the front seats, New carpet. Right, new bedside rail and tailgate covers. AC's blasting cold. New radio.
So that is a man's analysis.
New windshield. New grille and headlights. So that wraps it up for the 2000 Silverado. All kinds of stuff. We did a full restoration while the owner is doing some really important stuff right now. So to the owner, I kept up with my part of the deal. All right, we'll see you at the next one.